and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi folks, I'm Bob Schupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
I had trouble getting that out. Today we're going to talk about mid-back or thoracic pain. We'll show you where that is and how to crack your back in 20 seconds to stop it.
That's right, mid-back pain. And sometimes that is associated with pain that wraps around the ribs. And that's exactly my experience.
And sometimes it actually can send it down into the low back too.
It'll refer.
By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com and go to the giveaway section. We're always giving something away. We're going to reveal it a little bit later in the program, what we're giving away.
That's right.
It's kind of a mystery. You can also go to Facebook. It'll be pinned to the top of the page if you can't wait. Go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program.
There you go.
And we now have a podcast where we interview amazing people.
Right. Authors, prevalent doctors, a number of wonderful people. All right. So, Bob, again, we're talking about that back pain. We'll show it on Sam.
Sounds good.
Yep. Right where we're talking about between the shoulder blades or even right about where the ribs and the lumbar spine come together. And as therapists, it's kind of a hinging point where there's a little more stress, particularly if you have rounded posture, whether you're sitting at the desk in your car, in my case, riding the bike, or a combination of a few, and you get that pain. And boy, that pain, because the nerves in this area, the peripheral nerves wrap out around the ribs and go to the front. And that's why sometimes you'll feel that wrap around pain.
I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is kind of a postural fault on somebody.
Right.
If they bend over like this, Brad, they're bending from the hips.
Yeah.
But if they bend like this, now they're hinging right here.
Yep.
And that's
exactly
that's a problem spot.
Right. And so the good news, particularly, you know, I personally have great success stopping this very quickly, and that's where the title comes.
Going to show.
Exactly. So, Sam, we're done with you. We'll just dance off the floor.
You're dismissed.
Yeah. So, what we need to do, in my case, I'm riding my bike for an hour. It's a springtime. I hadn't ridden bike all winter, well, except for inside, which is different.
Right.
And then I went to my desk in a seated position, thinking about my work, and all of a sudden I start getting this pain, and it's like, I recognize, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong.
You had slipped into kind of a rounded out posture.
Right. And I thought, I need to get rid of this, and I've done this many times over the years. I take my 6-inch foam roller, I put it down on the floor, and I'll do this as a maintenance stretch too, but I haven't been doing it in the last few months because I've been pretty pain-free.
How far did you bike, Brad?
20 miles.
Okay.
That's about an hour and 15 minutes or so for me.
So first time out, you didn't do anything like sensible, like saying, well, it's the first time out.
Well, I've done some shorter ones already.
Okay.
It's getting later in the spring. But anyways, after that, I made it worse by sitting, work on the computer, and not paying attention to my my back. So anyways, this is exactly what I did. I put the foam roller down and I went back, and this takes a little practice. You have to learn to relax. If you just roll back and forth with tight stomach muscles, it may not allow your back to cavitate or crack and release that. That doesn't take long. But what I do is I put my hands here, and I did get a little crack there.
You can try to push the elbows actually towards the floor.
Right, yeah. Take a deep breath and relax.
Now, we wouldn't suggest rolling into the low back.
Exactly what I was going to say. When you get up in here on the belt line, it's just...
it's not comfortable.
It's different up there. And sometimes, like, I felt a notable crack, and it was like there was some movement there, and it's like, oh, that's exactly what I needed. And it was right there, and I can feel that junction point.
Sure.
And that's where I needed it. And then, you know, spend a little time on it. And one thing you can do, especially if you got the long roller, is after you do that, you may want to just hang out here for a minute or two just to stretch out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is absolute wonderful way to crack your back.
I wouldn't recommend this for anybody with rheumatoid arthritis, or if you have loose ligaments, or if you're at risk for a fracture, osteoporosis, osteopenia.
Yeah, and usually those are older people unless you have some kind of issue.
You can lie on it like Brad did at the end, but be careful. But I also recommend, Brad, that Yeah, I mean, I do this before I go for a bike ride and after.
I should.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah.
Brad's
Yeah, you're exactly right.
notorious for not.
Well, I'm thinking about getting out there riding. You got to put your shoes on and helmet and all those
Yeah,
things.
there's a
Pump
lot
up
going
your
on.
tires. But I have done this in the middle of the night. I remember I woke up once, actually twice,
Really?
and it's like, I got that pain there. I know it. And I got up, go in the living room, get my foam roller out, crack my back, go back to bed. Life is much better.
I'm going to show one other thing here, Brad. So
Oh.
this is our giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
And this is actually a pull-up system, and it can be used for, what you do is you get 3 of these anchors that you can put into the wall. They got to be put into wooden studs. Otherwise, they'll pull right out.
Right.
So, but once they're into the stud, you can hang a elephant on here.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them there. And, you know, most houses have wooden studs.
Look how easy these go in. So, I mean, you can actually keep the store. Nobody knows that you have a pull-up system in your office, and then you just bring it up and put it in place. And this will hold, like I said, 300 pounds at least, right?
Oh, God, yes.
I know way more than that.
Yeah,
But
we're not concerned about that.
you can actually, now I'm tall, so I'm going to start down below here, but you can actually rip off a few pull-ups throughout the day, and you can also go wide-based. But what's nice about this, what this has to do with the mid-back, and I'll show you after I hit a few pull-ups here, is that you can also twist the arms where you can go pull-ups or chin-ups.
Yeah. Or twist while you do it.
Yeah, or twist while you do it. That's what I do, yep. But you can actually put this in place, and this is going to feel good on the back too.
Yeah.
Mid-back and low back. You can actually hang out this way.
Right.
And the wall supports you, and you can just hang like this.
Right.
Now, you can even keep your feet on the ground yet.
Yeah. You can adjust your intensity by varying
how much weight
you put through, which is really a nice way to do it.
And you can actually even do a little bit of twisting.
Yeah, a
Brad.
little rotation.
A little rotation there.
This
all should be pain-free, though.
Yep. Yep.
So,
yeah. And, you know, the one thing I do want to say about this is, you know, you can, if you face the wall and do it, or the other way, this will extend the back a little bit more and maybe help that mid-back, that thoracic back. As far as pull-ups, I've had people comment, they say it's too close to the wall, but I actually like it because it keeps you from swinging and it just keeps that perfect form. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So,
there's one more little bonus tip I wanted to show.
All right. Let's
this is another trick I used to do for my same spot. You know, if you do the roller and it doesn't work, or if you don't have a roller, you can do, I just call this the pretzel stretch. You cross like this.
But now you got to have really good posture when you do this, Brad.
Yeah.
I don't want you rounded out at all.
Yeah, Bob doesn't want us rounded out. But it's really hard because to do this, you almost have to. Because I used to do this before I thought about posture 25 years ago. And it always seemed to work, and I would always get a crack. So you're not going to crank really hard.
No, it's more like a stretch, Brad, that cracks.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not upset anybody here.
Well, it's not a mobilization. But I just know when I was in karate, before I was a therapist, I used to do that. We did that stretch all the time. And
the way you put your elbow, it almost extends you a little.
Yeah.
It almost tractions you a little bit.
Yep. So, you know, that's an option you can try.
All right. Go out and crack that back and stretch your back, and it results in a crack. So,
yeah, we don't want to get the chiropractic.
You really crack me up. Yeah.
Yeah, crack me up.
All right. Thanks.